Welcome to Importance TV, and today I have a special guest, and I'm gonna ask her to introduce herself to us, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. Thank you. You did.
My name is Jessica Livingston. I'm the director of the Concord Multicultural Festival, and I have been directing this festival for 9 years, since 2013, and it's my pride and joy. It's my favorite event. It's such a beautiful festival. It takes place every September. It's a 5-hour long event with music, food, activities, games, fun, all of the fun things, and it's all presented by people in our community and it really celebrates the diversity of our community. It's a very diverse community, whether we look like it or not. There are many cultures here, and people from many different backgrounds, and it's a really beautiful way to connect with others in our community and learn about their backgrounds through food, music, and art, which is, everybody loves that, right?
Thank you. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for being with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. And we appreciate what you do for our communities, because even though you do it, not everybody understands what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we need to, to make sure everybody understands, to get more support and to change this community. We have a lot to learn about each other.
For sure.
I have an interesting question.
Yeah.
I just want to know, do you speak any other languages?
I do not. I only spek English. I understand very little Spanish, and that's about it.
Can you speak Spanish a little bit?
Not really. I can do hola.
Right.
And I can understand a little bit of Spanish, but that's
I mean, when I came to the United States, I speak like maybe 3 languages, except English. So when I came to the United States, I wanted to learn the culture, learn English, because it was my first. It's hard. But students, you have to learn, you have to understand what's going on to be able to move on, and you can't just sit there and pretend like you don't care.
For sure.
So that's how I learned the culture, English, having friends, doing all of these track fields and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm excited to be in this country and to work with people like you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's my honor, really. I grew up here in this very white state, and very sheltered, and meeting people like you and everybody I get to know through the festival has really opened my eyes, opened my heart, opened everything to this whole world. So even though I only speak English, I learn so much from everybody, and everybody I know who comes from another country speaks more than 2 languages, at least like English and their native language, but usually there's other languages in there too. So it's really impressive. And I think it's great. And maybe someday I'll learn a language. But there's so many.
Yes, you can choose. You can choose. Yes. So anyway, first of all, before I start asking you questions, I appreciate you influenced my life. You inspire me a lot, and it doesn't take a lot to understand and to become a leader. Most of the people don't understand leadership. Leadership is not like personal benefits or what you do, for your family and stuff like that. Leadership is about influencing everybody.
I think it's amazing that you want to do all of this work and teach leadership. And I know that you understand too that leadership isn't about being at the top or being ahead. It's about being among everybody and uplifting everybody else around you. And also being a role model to, modeling the right behavior, the right ways to live, and standing up for people it's really important. So
my first question that I'm going to ask you, could you tell us a little bit about what the Multicultural Festival is, and how it began?
So back in the early 2000s, this is before I started organizing the festival, Concord was seeing an influx of refugees being resettled here from countries in Africa and the Middle East, and for this state that was around 98% white at the time, that was a little different for the community here. And so there was a group called the Greater Concord Area Task Force Against Racism and Intolerance who created some community circles and discussions about how to welcome the refugees and how to make the whole community sort of welcome them without, their actions being driven by fear, which is what drives a lot of racism and intolerance. So out of these community circles, the community pretty much decided that civic festivals and events that involve the whole community are the best way to really get people to engage and connect with each other. So the festival was started in, I don't remember the actual date, but in the mid-2000s, in order to provide a fun, festive atmosphere to get neighbors to connect with neighbors, and for the refugee population to present their foods and traditions and cultures, again, in an easy, laid-back atmosphere with food and music and cultural activities. And so it turned into this beautiful event where people got to connect with other people and not be so unsure about their new neighbors. It's really a way to welcome them. And so over the years it's evolved, and now we celebrate all of the cultures here because we want everybody to feel included. And we've learned, even within the community who's lived here our whole lives, there's still a very rich culture from our own ancestors and who may have immigrated here, as well as our Native American neighbors as well.
How did people respond when you started?
While this festival was going on the first several years, I had nothing to do with it. I was doing my own thing, living my own life, doing my own career. I did a lot of community events and did a lot in the community anyway. And so when the previous organizers wanted to step down, I decided, after much discussion and thinking about it, I decided to take it over, the organizing of it. But I didn't know anything about the different communities that were here, the communities from other cultures and countries. Like I said, I grew up here very sheltered, and I was on my own path. But because I knew how to organize community events, I said, I can do this as long as I have a good, strong group of volunteers who know, who know more about the different cultures and the people involved. And this community is amazing. It really is. I talked to a few people I knew, and so many people were like, we want to help. We just, we don't want to take the lead. So that's why I decided to do it, because I felt like I had the skills to be able to make it happen with the passion and commitment from the community. So I always tell the story about when, after the first event, it completely changed my life, the first festival that I organized, and the day that it happened. And I just remember looking around and seeing so many people there, and everybody was just so happy and having a great time. And it really warmed my heart, and it really made me change the course of my career, because this community is just so amazing, and working with the new American population has just opened my eyes and my heart to so much. And it was the best decision that I ever made to take over this festival. And so now, since I've taken it over with my skills as a professional event organizer, we've been able to grow it even larger and larger to a more professional scale that has really become one of the community staple events. But as fabulous and spectacular as it is every year, we always make a point to really focus on the mission. The mission is the most important part, and the mission is really about making everybody in our community feel welcome.
Right. Thank you so much. So this is a question I usually ask people. It doesn't matter on TV or somewhere else when they talk to me about their vision and stuff like that. So I usually ask them, what's your vision, or what's your vision for my children?
Wow, that's a great question. So my vision for this would be that, and however many years your children are growing up,
Right.
that we continue to have the festival as just a celebration of everybody, not with the underlying tones of we have to do this to create acceptability and tolerance within our community. I hope that it's just a fun event that we all get together and do every year because it's fun and it's meaningful to each other. Like I said, it was started as a response to create more tolerance in the community. And we know that there are a lot of racial tensions and things like that have caused a lot of issues in our world. So my hope would be that we're doing the event for no other reason than to bring people together and not to create more tolerance.
So when you started, I know you talked about it, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper.
Sure.
And why is this? Why in this community?
Okay, so when I started organizing the festival and really trying to grow it and focus on the mission, the reason why was because it's so important. I mean, that's easy to say, but to go deeper, I got to know a lot of other people from different countries and people who look different and speak different than us, and I got to know their stories, and I got to know some of the struggles they experienced here in America and when they first arrived, or even still after they've been here for several years. And it really made me sad that other people can be so discriminatory or so, I hate the word hate, but so hateful
Right.
and mean to people. And
Right.
so it really hurt me to hear about some of these experiences of people who have fled unimaginable circumstances in their own homes, left everything behind, only to come here to be hurt more by the country that was supposed to be welcoming them. And I found that I became a trusted person to be able to speak up on behalf of a lot of people from different countries. Although now I'm hoping that I've empowered a lot of people to be able to speak up themselves, because their voices are just as the most meaningful and the most accurate and authentic. But really, I feel like we all have a background. We all come from different places, different walks of life. But we also have so many things in common, and those things in common are the most important things, like our values, our hopes and dreams, how we want to live. And the things that make us different are so superficial, like our skin color and our accents and the languages we speak. So it was important to me, and still is important to me, to bring us together over shared values and celebrate the differences through food and music and art. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and we all have the same hopes and dreams and values and wants out of life.
Great. Thank you so much for that. So your website mentioned you are always looking for new community members. What qualities are you looking for in a member?
In the committee members, that's a good question. We always welcome anybody to join the planning committee, because this event is about all of us. And so if you feel like you want to contribute something to this event, then everybody's welcome to join it. Committee work is sometimes challenging, and it's work, but we try to make this committee meaningful and fun and enjoyable for everybody. So we have several committee members who are there at every meeting. They help with the administrative things, they help with a lot of the work, but then we have other members who are there to offer just a specific talent or a project that they want to present to the community. So we really are open to anybody who wants to be part of the planning of this event, because it is so much a community event. It's community organized, it's community funded, it's community attended. So we will accept anybody who's willing to and interested in joining us to present something. Even if you just want to call us and give us some ideas or tell us what you want to see at the festival. We really welcome community engagement.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my last question, not least, maybe there's more after, but I'm gonna ask. This is very important question. What are some highlights about this upcoming event?
Sure. So this year we will be at Keach Park again, which was the best decision for this festival. We used to be at the State House, which was a really beautiful venue, but we decided to move the festival last year to Keach Park because it's closer to the more diverse communities and it's more kid friendly, and it was so wonderful to see so many children there last year and to allow them to see, give them the opportunity to see people who look like them up on stage representing their cultures and letting them just be there and be part of it. There was so much dancing. It was so much fun.
Right.
So we'll be at Keach Park again. We will have the same 5 hours packed full of music, performances. We'll have food vendors like we always do and artist demonstrations. Some of the highlights this year that we're working on is a community art project that will probably develop over the summer. And that will be some way for the community to participate in an art project, but we're still working out the details. And then we're also doing our new performance coordinator has implemented a different sort of children's theme every year. So the opening ceremony this year will be Encanto themed, which is that movie that Disney put out that is so popular right now about the Colombian culture. And our performance coordinator, Cindy Chown, is from Colombia originally. So they're going to do a beautiful performance, but also engage the kids in other ways to celebrate the Colombian heritage, but also the whole spirit of that beautiful movie. And then we'll have the flag parade like we always have, which is amazing because we have flags from about 70 different countries, and every single flag that we have is for people here in our community. So that's how diverse our community really is. We have people who live here in our community from over 70 different countries around the world, which is incredible to think about how diverse we really are. So, and that's always a great way for people to connect with their heritage and their culture as well, especially if they've lived here their whole lives, but their families have come, their ancestors have come from other countries in the past. I know my father came from Argentina, and so my kids always carry the Argentinian flag. So it's a nice way to kind of connect with your roots, and you can either carry the flag or you can take photos in front of it, and it's really fun. So there's so much going on, so you'll have to follow us on social media and our website to keep up with everything.
I can't wait to attend this event. And what would you say to your supporters?
To the supporters of the festival?
Yes.
Come to the festival and participate in any way that you want to or can. There are so many ways to participate, and this festival is really for everybody here in our community. So find a way to participate, contact us, we'll help you figure out how, and just embrace the diversity. It's beautiful, and it makes us a rich community.
Thank you for showing up. It's a really great opportunity. It's a great honor to have you on my show.
Thank you. It's my honor too.
Yeah, I'd like to have you back when
sure.
you get time again.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.